All right. Mic check, mic check. Mortal Masters Podcast. Your host, Main, of course. Um, First and foremost, I want to thank all the listeners, supporters, everybody that share the podcast, follow the podcast page, share the links, comment on the YouTube, share the YouTube. Anybody that support the podcast, I always want to thank you guys because without y'all, obviously, there would be no podcast, there'd be no consistency, there'd be no me doing the work I'm doing. I do it because the people love it. They love to see it. So I keep continuing to do so. So definitely want to shout out to y'all, man. Definitely have had some interesting and very exciting things happen for me this year. Definitely the second part of the year has been nothing less of great with the kind of interview looks I've gotten, the interviews, the impact of the interviews. And when I say impact, I'm not talking about views in a sense, although the two can go hand in hand with each other. I'm talking impact as far as the conversation pieces, the level of conversation we're having, the things we're talking about, how buried some of the things we're talking about have been, and we're able to dig them up and still have these conversations. Even new things, and new forms of media, and new ways to create media and do episodes and conduct interviews with the live and doing things live with so people can react and interact in real time. I think it's all been great, and I definitely commend everybody for sticking with me and always pushing me to go forward, and the ones who looked at me as a pioneer or a leader or such, or just someone who is at the top of their game. Those words never go unnoticed. Those words don't just go in one after the other. I take all of that in stride, and I continue to push forward. So shout out to y'all that continue to allow me to feel like I'm very important, even though I think y'all telling the truth. Of course, I just definitely like the fact that you guys are able to make me feel important. And I hope I do the same thing for you guys. So I want to get into some things real quick, and I don't know how I want to tackle some things. That's a lot I want to talk about. I haven't done a thinking out loud in a little minute, and I love doing thinking out loud because I can get a lot of stuff off my chest that I just can't get maybe writing it down or on Facebook status, or because I like to joke a lot. It may come off as I'm playing or whatever the case may be. These be a good way. These thinking out loud rather. It'd be a good way for me to get a lot of things off in the manner in which they need to get off, because it's just me alone by myself, and I'm just thinking out loud. So I want to say this, man. Like, I do look at myself as a leader in a lot of different ways. I also know that I'm human, and I have come up short in leadership. And I'm pretty sure the last time won't be the last time, because I'm always going to continue to learn and grow and try to be a better leader. And I think with wanting to be a better leader and learning and growing comes a lot of losses, a lot of failures, a lot of mistakes, a lot of mishaps, missteps. And so I do plan to take those and make those, and then I'll adjust from there, fix my crown, and continue to move forward. But also in the process of doing so, I try to make sure the people that may follow me or that look to me for guidance, or that look at me as a leader, pioneer of such in whatever space, whether that be the podcast community, just the content community in itself, the fatherhood community in itself, whatever, in whatever way, manager, in whatever ways, I always try my best to make sure that the next person don't make the same mistakes I make or I made. And so I think that's important to start off with, right? So um, one thing I think I want to say this just out off the blue. I had to learn, and I try to, and you learn through people so many times. I see it in other people, so it's easy for me to do now. I've learned very recently that you can't allow people to bait you into responding, right? And in leadership, you gotta know this, because I think as leaders we feel like, oh, I gotta protect my name, or I gotta respond to this because I was mentioned. Or I gotta respond to this because they said this and I didn't like that. And I gotta respond to this because this made me feel this way. I gotta respond to this. I gotta respond. I gotta respond. You ain't got to. You ain't got to. And I say bait because I do feel like subconsciously, people, entities, communities, individuals, groups, they will say things indirectly or directly up to and about you, for you to comment on, or it's for you to uh, uh, respond, or for you to bite back, or whatever the case may be. And I think as a leader, like now, I'm learning that sometimes you gotta just take the hits and keep walking. And I didn't grow up that way. So I want to say that first when you think about leadership and think about you spearheading some things or you being in the front of whatever it is. Like I said, it could be the podcast community space. It could be the fatherhood space. It could be the brotherhood space. It could be dealing with people who are new in leadership, whether it be management, whether it be coaching, whether it be parenthood, whether it be activism, whether it be politics, whatever the case may be. I think for me, I would definitely tell people I didn't grow up this way, right? The way I grew up, if you said somebody's name or a certain person's name, and that person felt like you shouldn't be saying their name, or they didn't like what you said, and an attachment to their name, they came and they checked you about it, right? They checked you about it, and in where I grew up and how I grew up, that check-in wasn't no cameras, it wasn't no microphone, it wasn't no roadcaster, none of this stuff. What's none of this? It was these, of course. It was you might verbal threats. It might be it was so many different forms of communication that really didn't involve talking. If you follow me. And so that's how I grew up. That's what I knew. That's what I know. That's what I've been conditioned to do. That person, directly or indirectly, disrespects you in a sense. If you feel disrespected, if you feel played, if you feel like you tried, if you feel like somebody is testing you, you then go ace that test. I'm learning that you don't have to take every test put in front of you. You don't have to. And sometimes people might put a test in that you just to the side and you just keep moving. People, and I think there's an enjoyment of such, in a sense, when people do bait you or do test you or do say things to, and I don't want to say get you out your character, because I think the idea is people kind of know your character. So make no mistake, people know what they're doing. Make no mistake, people be knowing what they're doing. I'm a firm believer that I think that even if it's not intentional, it may be subconsciously, but they know you, so they know how, or they feel like they know how you'll react. And I'm here to say, trying to be in some kind of leadership today, I'm here to say, read up and digest the element of surprise. Surprise people by ignoring them. Surprise people by not responding in the way that they assume you would respond. Surprise people by just saying, "Hey, man, that was some good stuff," and keep it moving. Just surprise people, and then see how far that goes. Because I think you'll get further doing it that way than giving them what they want. Because now you're stuck in this space, and believe it or not, people do want energy. I do feel like people want the energy. They want to be a part of your aura. Sometimes they want to be a part of some of the conversations that you're in, that you may have, that you conduct, that you're a part of, that your name gets dropped in. And like I said, it may not be intentionally, but it's subconsciously. And that's in the corporate world. That's in the urban world. That's in the media space, podcast space, photography space. All these spaces intertwine. And I want to tell people, because I got my shirt on now, my AUG Explain shirt on, man. Shout out to Q, by the way. All right, you see the shirt? I got my AUG Explain shirt on, and I'm a big supporter. I'm a support. You probably see me on the page with the lives and stuff, yes, but I'm a huge supporter since day one, since before with AUG Explain. But I talked to her a lot, and Andrea, she got shit up and running right now. Like she's gone. She's out of here. Like she has literally created her own media space, black media space, a news outlet of sorts, and I'm definitely clapping up for her. First of all, she has created that, right? I also know Q. And we have these conversations in private, of course. I don't say too much, but I know Q. It's easy for me to sit back and let things happen now, because I'm someone who talks to someone who says, hey, sit back and let things happen. You know what I'm saying? So it's super easy for me to let stuff roll off my chest, roll off my arm or whatever. If somebody throw a shot at me, or I feel a way about something or whatever, and I'm involved in it. It's easy for me to like let it be what it is, or just not respond to it, because my goal is to try to show her to do the same thing. Granted, we are two different people. Sometimes it's gonna work, sometimes it ain't gonna work. But I do feel like when you are in a position of some sort of leadership, or you got some sort of following, right? So whatever that may, because leaders follow leaders all the time too. So I could also be a leader and still follow another leader. It's perfectly normal. And people might be leaders in their own such, in their own right. But at the same time, they're looking at other leaders and see what they're doing. And I don't want to be telling one person, one leader, one activist, one news outlet, media outlet company, to say, hey man, you got to stop responding to all the negative comments. You got to start responding to all of this. And I'm not doing it, Or my brother, for instance, my partner, coaches, both coaches, they are coaches, right? I have to tell them sometimes, like, hey, look, you got to let that roll off you. It's don't worry about it. But they said this, and don't worry about it. I think as leaders, and people in position of leadership, or just having that following, you got to know that you see a bigger picture. I think that's important. That vision, like the vision of a coach, the vision of a manager, the vision of a parent, the vision of a politician, the vision of people, persons, entities, groups in charge. The vision, you got to know your vision. And sometimes knowing your vision, I feel like it should help with decisions in the process of seeing that vision through. And so I always tell people, I use coaches because it's easy, but I always tell people, like a coach, like your vision necessarily shouldn't be to go undefeated through the year, that because you're going to lose anything at some point. Not saying that won't happen, but that shouldn't be the vision. The vision should be to, play at the highest level possible throughout the season, through practices and games, and learn how to play at a high level, get some camaraderie, learn how to operate smoothly and mistake free. That might be the vision. And in the process, things might happen. You might have to bench your star player. You might have to take a few bad quotes from a parent or the crowd. I seen the comment the other day and it said the crowd in basketball, like, the crowd is undefeated in coaching, right? Because the crowd got all the answers, right? Why are you not doing this? Why you ain't doing it? Well, you're not in that seat. But that's a whole other story. Anyway, the crowd undefeated. The crowd ain't lost the game since the game been made. All right, as long as you're in the crowd, it's undefeated, because in your mind, it's just that easy to do X, Y, and Z. It's never that easy. Take it from another leader. But anyway, you have to tell people sometimes, like, think about the consequences. Think about the sacrifices that you're going to have to make, the consequences you're going to have to face along the journey of seeing this vision through. Everybody don't see the vision. As long as you see the vision, though, you should be okay with taking those consequences head on, and also being able to make those sacrifices, because that's what it's going to take. Any kind of leadership, any kind of leading journeyman, you're going to have to make both of those and face both of those. And so I say all that to say, in this space that I'm in with the media space, I never, ever sought out to say or to be the guy. I never sought out or set out to be a fan favorite, a favorite. I never set out or sought out to be a person that you may call because you want to start up your own podcast or your own show, or you're going to start doing skits, or you want to start doing something with filming, or you're going to start doing something in the content space. I never set out to be the person that somebody needed to reach out to in order to do those things. However, what I did do was work my ass off, stay consistent, continue to learn, and navigate a process where there was no navigation book. There was no map for this stuff. I navigated things in my own way, my own right. I came up with the help of some my own comrades and individuals. Shout out to Slim, shout out to people that helped me in the beginning with, hey, don't talk about this or talk about that or stay on this side, stay. All of this stuff matters to me. And even Slim saying, yo, you should start filming and then be filming. I'm like, okay, well, you film and I film, but I want my stuff to look different than yours. I like this look right here. Keep filming just like that, whatever that means. I didn't know nothing about, aperture and ISO and all and none of that. I never knew nothing about nothing. So everything you see now is just stuff that I learned along the way by working and busting my ass and watching YouTube and reading books and trial and fail and having videos that's way too light and it's all off, having videos that's way too dark and it's all off, having videos that I didn't like the color, but the podcast was done at that point. It was a lot of that. So, and this is 9 years. I started in 2016 of April. And so April of next year will be a whole dime. That'd be 10 years. I said to say 10 years ago, I didn't start this and think, okay, I'm going to be the man. I'm going to be doing this. I didn't think anybody cared about podcasts. I never knew podcasts would be this big, big, great thing. I never knew that. So I never set out to do that. So whatever you see today is just the fruits of labor and the fruits of communication, developing relationships, creating a community of people who like the content that I put out, understanding that content I put out and who are my target audience, or who is my target audience, who my content is geared towards. It's learning that kind of thing. Even analytics, it wasn't none of this stuff, man. It just wasn't. Like the stuff is different now. But I'm saying all that to say that is why a lot of people or some people may look at me the way they do because of what they see me do, what they've heard I've done, and what they see today. What they see today in 2025. And so when I hear, talks of that, and I wanna say something else. And this is not like I'm not even mad at anybody or because it's been brewing for a long time for me to have these kind of conversations because of people I speak with. Mind you, it's never really about me. I'm just using some things, a few things that have happened that I've witnessed or that I've spoken about or that I had conversations about or that I thought about, and I just didn't want to speak on it too soon out of pure emotion or that or feel away, because at the end of the day, I'm rooting for everybody. I'm all about unity for real, for real. I'm not about unity for fake. I'm about unity for real. So when I say unity for real, I'm talking about like when I'm hard on an artist or when I'm hard on my peers, I'm hard on whether it be your Brandon Cooks or whether it be an artist or another rapper or a singer or a comedian or somebody who made skits. When I'm hard on them, it's still unity because there's nothing I ain't never said to them. When I'm telling somebody that the way you conducted business wasn't good for your brand, regardless of how I say it, the message is the message. How they take to receive it is on them. But that's still unity because I'm not sitting here saying like, yo, you ass, your music is trash, just quit, give it up. I never said nothing like that to nobody. I've always said things like, yo, you complaining, you this, you that, hey, that wasn't the right way because you missing the future business deals, or you shouldn't have said that because you messed up that relationship. You could have just salvaged this relationship by doing X, Y, Z. It's always been about, it's still unity to me because at the end of the day, people could take what I'm saying and take those nuggets or whatever the case may be and make a meal with that. If they choose not to do that, that's on them. I can't, I can't be held responsible for somebody not willing to take the message that's being put out there. But regardless of the fact, I really am about unity. I try to promote, share, have dialogue, create content, work with, support, uplift every single person. And I mean, that's whether I like somebody's show, whether I dislike somebody's show, whether I like the person as a person, whether I dislike him as a person. That has never gotten in the way of me sharing somebody's things, whether me listening to their music. So I might not share, I might listen to it. That was kind of fire. You never hear me sharing something, somebody from the city, and be like, oh, this is trash or this is horrible. You can never find that. Even like even in the beginning stages, you'll never find me like necessarily downing it. Whenever I get into it with somebody or I go back and forth with somebody, it's normally because they have crossed the line and said something or done something that I just feel like I need to address in a certain way, tone, and manner to ensure that it don't happen again. That be it for me. It don't never be about being macho man, being a favorite, being liked, being grouped, clicked up, whatever the people be saying. It ain't never about that. It's always about me as a man, as a person that's respecting people, wanting that same level of respect, and also just don't be somebody that I feel like I don't have to respect, and you're not respecting me. That's even worse. But that's a whole nother story. And also just a backstory to stuff like that too. If you ever saw something like that, or you ever see me go ask somebody, believe it or not, there were times to talk where it could have went differently if people had just shut the fuck up. I'm not gonna lie to you. If they had just been quiet, it'd been fine. But I think sometimes people feel themselves. You know, a lot of times people get in front of this camera. This is the thing about this camera, right? This thing right here, this thing. The thing about this camera right here is, people get in front of it, and I've said it plenty of times, and turn to October 31st, it'd be a Halloween, they will put a costume on, different person. They extra whatever. So it could be extra salty, it could be extra envious, it could be extra happy. They might fake it. It don't always be negative, it could be something positive. It could be extra fake, extra real, whatever the case may be. People be extra. Like when this camera turn on, you see that red light flashing, it says recording. Just be yourself. It's not hard. Just the same person you are when the camera turn off and it's time to go home and face the real world. Just be that same person when it's on, and then you have no problems. But I think the problem I've witnessed and I've seen is that over the years, people get in front of this camera and for some reason they gain superpowers. It's like you still, I don't want to. Anyway. Yeah, I don't like that when people get in front of the camera just start going crazy when they just having out of body experiences. Like the camera shouldn't do that to you. That's like a sexual thing, or that's like something you do when you're very, very happy or extremely excited. You should have an out of body experience. That's a bedroom thing. That's not like unless you're doing porn. Like you shouldn't be doing that on camera. Like that's insane. But I want to touch on the thing about groups. I really wanted to touch on that. Like, I hear that a lot when it comes to Augusta, and I've seen this on multiple platforms, multiple people talk about it on social media, multiple statuses. It's a plethora of takes on, oh, Augusta just clicked up. Oh, this is just clicked up. Oh, you gotta be in the in crowd, or you gotta be. Let me tell you something about clicked up and in crowd and groups. Okay. Here's the funny thing about that being something that's considered negative, or I guess a down about a certain city. It's everywhere. Let's start there. It's everywhere. That's number one. Number two, which probably should be number one, but number two, when you're young and there's a bunch of 5-year-olds, right? And they going to learn, or daycare, whatever they want to call it. And they call it kindergarten, right? So they put all these 5 years old right here. They put all these 4 years old here, 3 years old, pre-K, whatever the case may be, right? They group them that way for whatever reason. Just something in common. Age, cool. It's in common. When you grow up and you get older and you go to elementary school, you got some kids who might struggle with reading or struggle with math, right? So they'll have, when I was young at least, they had this thing where like they would take people out of classrooms at the third grade, whatever, cool classroom, second grade classroom, and that person would spend time with them on their speech, their reading, their math, right? They will group them out of everybody's class. They'll group those kids. They'll group them. I mean, I want to use the word group a lot. They'll click them up. They'll group them because they got a common interest. There's some commonality there. Can't struggle with reading, struggle with math, struggle with speech. They'll group them. Okay. You go a little older, you get to middle school, whatever, right? Now it's like, oh wow, you an outstanding student. Like this regular classes might be beneath you. You might need to get. You might have to actually get like advanced classes, right? And you know what? Also in the 6th grade, 7th grade, whatever, It's you. There's you. There's you. There's you. There's you. Let's click y'all up. I'm sorry. Let's group y'all up. Put y'all in a class together. And we're just going to call it honors class. Gotcha. Within school, you got some kids who just don't want to follow the rules. You. Y'all been bad today. You've been bad today. Or y'all been bad consistently, consecutively, day after day. You know what we're going to do? We're going to put y'all in house suspension. You know what we're going to do with y'all? We're going to put y'all in detention. You know what we're going to do with y'all? We're going to leave y'all back. Grouping them. Click up. All right. You get older, right? Or even in the same grade, whatever. You got people that want to play basketball. We group them. We call it a basketball team. Football, we group them. Call it the football team. So on and so on for sports. You want to debate? Hey, you want to run a business? Okay, hey, come here. We're gonna put you in the business. We're gonna click y'all up with the business. So you're gonna take some business classes. All y'all clicked up over there. All y'all grouped up over there. All y'all just grouped up. You want to cheer? Cheerleaders over here. You want to dance? Dancers over here. Chorus over there. You play band over there. We're going to group all y'all up, and we're going to call you a band. We're going to call you a chorus. We're going to call you a basketball team. We're going to call you the honors course. We're going to call y'all detention. We're going to call y'all alternative school. We're going to call y'all what? Like, people act like clicked up and grouped up is something that only happens in a small city of 200,000 people. Grouped up, clicked up has been happening forever in everybody's life, everywhere in the world, because that's how the world works. I don't like when people have the answers to stuff and they look at it like it's a negative. Y'all looking at people with common interests and liked interests being around each other as a negative because you're not within that group. And I just mentioned a bunch of groups to say, like, it's a high chance that, and maybe not a high chance, I don't know. It could be you be in your way. It could be ego. It could be pride. It could be whatever. But because you're not willing to see things different ways, and you want to look at it like, well, it's just grouped up, it's clicked up, and that's what it is. And if you're not in the in crowd, you just no. Maybe whatever you're doing just isn't wanted as much as the next person's. So you're not in the advanced class. Maybe you're in the regular classroom. Maybe your reading is not up to par as you think it is. So you really in the class where people are going to work on their reading to get better. But because you're so envious and so mad and so at the people that can read and that can write and that's doing excelling and that's doing exceptionally well, you're not even realizing that you're in a certain group to make steps to get to another group. And I'm using that for example. I'm not saying that anybody better than anybody because heavens no, right? We all the same, right? Whatever. So I say it to say, like, when I look at people, whether it be Slim, whether it be Q, whether it be Kim Macon, whether it be Donald Doe, whether it be Tommy Archer, whether it be anybody that people know I kind of rock with, whatever, right? We all got a like and common interests. So it makes sense why you see us work together, why you see us under each other post commenting, why you see us sharing each other content, why you see us talking, why you see us out together, why you see us together linked up. Well, we taught, as young people, only the strong survive. I'm also taught that it's strength in numbers. So, I mean, once again, I got an AUG Explain shirt on today, right? She made a killing this year. She is making a killing this year. I've been networking with her a year and some change before she even launched this and became this, right? We did a podcast on my episode years before we even started networking that did amazing. I said to say vision again, looking at it from a bigger picture. I'm not going to sit here and always combat, people saying, oh man, it's clicked up, it's grouped up. I just hate when people diminish or try to belittle someone's work and creativity and hard work and relationship building and all these sorts of things to get the resources and get the community to buy into them. And they did all these things for somebody to say, oh, it's because it's crowded, it's clicked up. Everything is clicked up. Deal with it. Get you the right click and move on. That's it. Everything is clicked up. You ain't got to necessarily be in that crowd. If it's supposed to happen to you, it's gonna happen for you. Like that's just my ideology. Like if you're supposed to be here with these guys and these girls and these people in this group, you'll be there. If you're not, you're not. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. You can't make it seem like, oh, well, them over there, yeah, they all their own clique and you can't get in. It's a reason why you can't get in there. Every person in school can't get into the honors class or can't take honors class. They look at certain people, they look at your grades, they say, okay, these are the common grades averages here, maybe 90, whatever, all A's. Let's put them here because obviously this is just too easy for them because they're getting all A's. Let's put them here in this honors class and let's see what they do then. You can't just say, hey, oh, can I come? No, nigga, you got an F. You might have to do this grade over. like everybody's leaving you. And so I'm saying that to say, I think you really have to sit back. And I was talking to Tommy before I got here. Shout out to Tommy Archer, man, and condolences. He lost his brother. And I know how lost feels, so I could just imagine what he's going through. I never lost a sibling before, though. Not on wood that it don't happen. But, sometimes you got to take a step back from whatever you're doing. You got to just step back from whatever you're doing. Step back. Because when you in the game, I do sports. When you in the game, I'm play basketball, football, whatever it can be. When you're in the game, it's that core vision you got in the game as the point guard, or in the game as the center, or in the game as the small forward, shooting guard, whatever. You just thinking about your position and in the moment. That's the game you watch right now. Everything is moving so fast because you're in the game. Sometimes you got to get on the bench. You got to get benched. You got to sit down from the bench and watch the game. Like, damn, shit, that baseline is open every time we drive over here. You get back in the game, you adjust. It's okay to take the step back. It's okay to get out the game for a second, to take a step and say, okay, let's watch this game from afar. If you watch it from afar and you just don't like it, don't get back in the game, cool. That's fine. But the problem is people not taking that step back. Instead, they stay in the game, they whining, they complaining, they bitching, they doing all this other stuff, and that's why people be losing. That's why some people will never win, because all they want to do is complain. They're not willing to take that step back. It's always, woe is me. It's always somebody else. That can never be them. Once again, I have no problem admitting this. I have been wrong. I was wrong recently. I've been wrong. I've said things out of frustration or maybe lacking leadership, lacking guidance in some areas. I've said things. I've responded to people that didn't deserve my attention ever in life, which was insane to me. Like, fuck was I thinking, right? Come on now.
Wait a minute.
And so,
who are you?
Didn't know who I was at the time. But the thing is, like, you have to understand that. You take that step back and say, I was out of pocket. I was out of pocket. Now, I can tell you today in the content space that I think Brandon Cooks at the time, I don't want to say nigga's name like that, but he got upset with something, went live, and my thing was like, yo, don't tag my name in nonsense. I don't like that being attached to somebody else. Like, I got my own energy. I don't want anybody tagging me, saying my name or whatever the case may be, and mixing it with your energy. Don't mix mine with yours, because if it's supposed to mix, you're going to mix. We're not mixing for a reason. I respect you as a human being and what you're doing, and I support it, but don't mix the two. And I didn't like it. I responded. Today, I can say that was probably not the best decision. Whether you just want to win something and say, okay, well, I got my get back. Cool, what you want to do. But today, I would never respond to something like that. I would keep moving. I'm fully comfortable in who I am. I'm fully comfortable with what I can do. I'm fully comfortable with what my vision is. And I'm fully comfortable with what I've accomplished so far by doing the things I'm doing and making the decisions I'm making. Nobody could take my work ethic from me. Nobody could take my relationship building with me. Even this year. Once again, I got to keep saying, I got an AUG Explain shirt on, right? Her success has bled over into some success for me. Why? Clicked up. It makes sense. It's not that I'm not shunning nobody out. Oh, now you're not a part of it. I'm not shunning nobody out. You do if you do what you gotta do, you'll be around. Like, and it's not an acceptance thing. It ain't the firm. It ain't like, oh man, you gotta do this to get accepted. It ain't no gang initiation. Do good work. Have people want your work. You'll be invited in every group. I don't feel like there's no group or clique, whatever, that I can't really function in. I feel like I get along with everybody for the most part. Even people I dislike, I get along with. I don't have a problem with people per se. Well, I do, I guess, but it's not a particular person. It's just, I don't know. It's something about people. Like I don't like it. I get it. Not anxiety, but my social media like dies down super fast. I got an iPhone 12, so maybe that's the reason why. I don't know. I ain't upgraded in a long time. I don't know. But the thing is, I think when you think of groups and cliques and we talk about it from a negative standpoint, I don't always like that. I'm cool with a bunch of people who are not cool with people I'm cool with. It don't really bother me. I can do that and not be fake. That's another thing. I think there's always been a lack of this, but it's a lack of realness um in a lot of communities right now. And I'm talking about content, podcasts, political, coaching, sports, in any kind of community you could think of, legal or whatever case may be. I don't care. Urban, drug dealing world, rap world, the music business, entertainment. I don't care. It's a shortage of people being real. When somebody's my friend, I'm real firm on, hey, look, I know you don't rock with this person. It's a friend of mine's. We're not gonna talk about them. You can feel how you feel. I can be around somebody who don't get along with my friend. Maybe I'm lying. Hold up. Hold up. I lied. Let me see. 'Cause I can't. I try not to be around people who don't get along with my friends. I don't have a lot of friends though, so it's fine. But gender matters to me. Gender matters in that point because the way I deal with male friends is different than when I deal with female friends. So if it's a woman, it may be different. A man, I may not want to be around you because with men, it comes a lot of ego and testosterone and macho man and muscles and chest flexing and things like that. I'm already out of shape, man. I'm a full blown daddy. Like, come on now, like, I ain't here for all that. So I will say that, like, but when it comes to women, like, you could do that and not be fake. You can do that and not have somebody talk about your friend. You can do that and not have your friend mention. You can be, but once again, that takes a certain kind of person, certain level of leadership, certain level of just being able to hold your own and drop your nuts. I guess that's what the kids say these days. So I don't know, but yeah, I think in totality of everything for me, without. And I hope I've done a good job of kind of illustrating is like, I don't be having a problem with anybody in any of the communities I'm in, whether it be podcasting or just content space or entertainment or whatever, anything with the camera and microphone. I don't have a problem with nothing like that. I just feel like I wish people would be who they are in the messages, in the comments, and when you see them, they'd be that way on camera. That's all I care about. Like if we supportive of each other and things like that in private, or we supportive of each other and things like that when we see each other, and we supportive of each other and things like that, any other time when the camera turn on, that shouldn't change how supportive we are of each other, how much we admire each other's work, and that's for me. I'll call someone in a heartbeat, but are you still podcast? So if I said on here, it would be nothing, but I wouldn't even do it that way because that's a friend of mine for one, but also I can just call him and say, yo, this is how I'm feeling about XYZ. I learned a lot from Slim as well too, like just the not caring part. I never understood that. Like, he just don't care too much for me though. I can't do all that, but I'm learning. I'm learning to not necessarily not care, but also just not be so. I'm gonna say this word, and I'm gonna probably end with this. I'm gonna say this word, and I don't mind, but like to not be so emotional. And what I mean by emotional, I don't mean soft. I think we equate emotion to just being soft or sad or like bitch made or bitching and stuff like that. That's not what I mean when I'm saying emotion. I'm talking about all emotions, ranging from anger, being sad, being happy, overly happy, being down. All ranges of emotion, not just sad or upset, right? And I think trying not to respond to things, while it's ongoing for one, which is taking that step back, but also just not putting statements out, not talking about things that may involve you that you didn't ask to be involved in real time. Just sit back. And once you sit back, like I said, I had to happen very recently. I was, and I don't mind, I don't mind. It's kind of hard whether you want to say stuff or not, because it's, to me, it's all love all the time. Like, and I really truly do respect what a lot of people that I would consider to be podcasters or hosts of shows. That I respect what a lot of them do. A lot of them got great content, got amazing looking work. They just great people, all of all. It's supportive. It's a whole community of us that just do great work, and we support each other, and we just on 10 all the time, just moving the culture forward, and just for Augusta or outside of Augusta, and that's a great thing. But I think for me, I I could still respect the craft. I could respect the person and what they stand for, and the entity, and they work ethic and their brand, and still feel like I should probably have been respected a little more. Which you go back to what I was talking about, like with the Brandon thing. I think his issue was he was upset because he felt like, I remember Slim saying something like, if it was Slim, I would have called him first before I put the episode out. He's right. The thing is, it wasn't Slim. It was him. And we don't have the same relationship me and Slim have. So I didn't think to call him. I also didn't think it was that deep, but that's another story. I say all that to say, I've realized that I can't make someone move a certain way when it's their brand, when it's their look, when it's their entity, it's their community, it's their episode, it's their whatever. I cannot make or want someone to do something a certain way. I can't do that. There's a lot of things that I do people might not like. So just because somebody does something I don't like, don't mean I need to respond to it. Sometimes it's best to sit back and just shut the fuck up and let things happen and go from there. And I think I'm learning that, and I still need to learn that because, like I said, I grew up a certain way. So I want to say everything I said in now, well, since the beginning to now, I want to kind of tie it up with like the thing with being upheld as someone in the front, a leader, someone that people are following, innovative or pioneering, or one of the first ones to do XYZ, or the person that you think of that's synonymous with whatever it is. So if you synonymous with coaching, that's what they think of first. Cool, this is for you. If you're synonymous with podcast, that's what they think of first. This is for you. If you're synonymous with fashion, that's what they think of first. This is for you. If you're synonymous with covering stories and you they think of first, this is for you. Whenever you're synonymous with stuff and you thought of first in the sense of anything, any kind of entity, any kind of subject, community, whatever the case may be, I think what comes with that is pros and cons. And I think, once again, back to vision, you have to know that before other people know that. So now, today, me knowing that, the pros and cons to being who I am to the city, whatever that may be, because I don't care. Like, people might feel, oh, you this. I don't give a fuck. Like, whatever somebody say I am to the city or to them, I have real deal, like big time leaders call me and tell me nothing but great things, which is leading to what I'm saying. And so I'm fully comfortable where I'm at. The thing is, you have to be careful when you respond emotionally because it can look like insecurity. I am okay with someone not liking me the way this person likes me, or someone not seeing what I do as great of content as that person seeing how I do some content. I'm cool with that. That don't necessarily bother me. You got to make sure you act that way as well. So I said to say, when somebody says something negative about you or something bad about you, you got to take the good with the bad. All right, somebody said something bad about you, or it was a bad conversation had about you, or a conversation was had about you that you're not too fond of. Oh, fucking well. It's been 20, 10, 15, 30 conversations that's been had about you that was like, yo, you're amazing, you're great, you're this, you're that, you're that. And mind you, I'm not even saying that, because both can be true. You can be great, all this, that, and third. And this other comment about you can also be true as well, because we're human. And I think knowing the position that you're in and what you mean to whatever you're doing in life and in the world, you got to be able to take both the same way. So if I take those combos of, oh, you great, yo, I love what you do, man. I'm trying to get like you. I'm trying to be like you when I grow up. Yo, your content is amazing. I love the way you did this. I love the way you did that. If you take all those with smiles on your face, yeah, man, thanks. You know what I'm saying? If you take all that, then that same thing, man, you just don't know what you're doing, or I didn't like that you did this way, or I thought that was kind of corny how you said this. Yo, nah, I feel you. Cool, cool. You gotta take it the same way. You can't be okay with that and not be okay with that. And I just learned that recently, like in my own. I sat down with everything in my own, and I said, all right, I'm tripping, and I moved on from that. I moved on from it. Like it's okay. I don't mind sitting here saying like, I got my own faults as a leader. Like I don't do everything right. I don't make every step I make ain't the right step. But I look at it. I pivot. I adjust. I change things if it need to be changed for the better. And that's it. And I just want the same for people like me and people around me. So that's I think that's my spiel for today. I just feel like I know so many people in social media land, or just in our content space, in the community of podcasts and whatever, and we all leaders in our own right. We all got our own kind of vision for what we do. We all respond to things in different ways. We all feel ways about different things, whether it be other people's thoughts and opinions on them, whether it be other people's content and they're mentioning it, or whether it be people talking about your content, whatever it is, whatever the case may be, we all feel a way about so many different things. And I feel like that's common, and it's cool to feel a way about whatever you feel a way about. But at the same time, as a leader, I do feel like you gotta take the good with the bad. I can't sit here and give game or tell people, yo, this way, you gotta do it this way, when I can't even take, somebody having a conversation about me that I might just dislike. I might dislike the way the conversation went. I might dislike the line of question. I might dislike the tone of certain statements. I may dislike it, and it's okay because I'm human, so I can dislike it. But I have to also understand you got to take the good with the bad whenever you're in a position like I am. And that's not me separating myself from any person or anybody, because just like I'm in a position to take the good with the bad, the next man is too, the next woman is too, the person next door is too, the person that don't got a platform is too, the person that just take care of their kids are also in that position too, the person that worked that went that promotion, they also into it too. So it's not just about me, but I'm talking about me and through me to get to people. And I hopefully, this thing aloud can help people catapult themselves to a higher level of just understanding and thinking and the way you receive stuff. And like I said, for me, I think a lot of times too, you need things to make you necessarily feel uncomfortable, because I won't say I'm ever uncomfortable, but you need things to get shaken up. You need to shaken up every once in a while. You need to get shaken up every once in a while and just be like, all right, shit real. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, everybody don't like me. Okay, all right, cool. Everybody not a fan of me in that capacity. Or everybody don't like every single thing I did. Because once again, people could dislike you, or people could dislike something you did, or things you did, or things you've done, and still like you as a person. But you made those choices. They just didn't like them. They still like you though, but they didn't like what you did, and that's fine too. So once again, it's perspective and making sure the mind shift. The mind is sharp, and for me, I had to learn that, and I'm still learning that. And once again, me being someone who people look to for advice on a plethora of things, numerous things, whether it be content, whether it be business, whether it be management, whether it be fatherhood, whether it be, taking care of this or taking care of that, content creating this or content creating that. It don't really matter. I think that none of us got all the answers, obviously. But just wanting to learn and move forward and continue to build and continue to grow and continue to put out great content and continue to learn and continue to build and connect and make new relationships, build new relationships. It's amazing to me. So yeah, man. Clap it up, 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 clap it up. I want to end with saying this though. I was asked the other day what was my favorite live we did on the AUG Explained Augusta News Network page, and I said it was a teacher from Richmond who had the article come out as if he had a inappropriate relationship with a student, and we had to interview him and got the full scoop of what happened and the who, what, where's, and whys, and all the stuff. And it was live, so it was a bunch of students in there, and I feel like things that test your skill level and that allow you to upgrade your skill level and allow you to, pull yourself up to a different level are always gonna be my favorite, right? But I think the thing with that I liked the most was you rarely ever see that, especially in black media or people giving black media the platform to do that. Most times they want to go to a news station, the radio show. They want to go to these big, 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 humongous entities that got millions and millions of dollars to tell their story. But here you have it. Somebody said, "Yo, I want to come on here and tell the real because the people that follow this page are the people I care about to know the real story." And I thought that was dope. And then I thought it was good how he was able to get that story out and get the facts out, or rather his side of the story out. I thought that was amazing. I also want to say, if you go to my page, you'll see I was able to interview Malik Yoba and James McKinnon. And shout out to those guys too, clap it up for them. That was phenomenal. I grew up on New York Undercover. I'm big, humongous Malik Yoba fan. I'm a 90s New York grown kid. So it was surreal to even be in front of him. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's the second time this year I've been in front of somebody I idolize. And had to interview them. But that was an experience as well. It was dope in the moment, and then the bouncing off jokes and them talking to me afterwards, and like me feeling like, damn, I can't leave the room because they want to keep me here hostage and talk. I get back to work. Just I can't. It's certain experiences you just can't even pay for. And then mind you, also I'm not even paying for this. This is just super built on relationships, certain rooms, certain cliques, certain groups, other things like that. That's what this is, and I thought that was amazing. But once again, not about views. It did get viewed a lot, and that's cool and all. I don't ever care about that. I care about the conversations that I had about the episode. I could get 10 views on something and be okay with it. If I get 7 phone calls about the content I put out, we have full-blown conversations about that content, it's always a win for me. It ain't never about the views. I don't really care about that per se. But once again, it's cool to have them. It means people watching it, probably replaying it, sending it out to people, so it got replay value. People learn from that. They feel like they was educated on certain things that they didn't know about. Someone's side got out from that. This is people who own the Regency Mall who haven't spoken out since they bought the Regency Mall. You've had media just say, well, they don't want to do it. It's on them. It's on them, because you got entities telling the media to say that, and you got the media playing their own game to once again shun people out. And I tell people, it's a group thing. So, like I told them, like I told the camera, y'all got to get in a group. I got to find the right group. If you feel like Augusta is like this thing where it's keeping you at bay, get familiar and then get in a group. That's what life tells you to do, But I say all that to say, I did like that. I liked how it was received. I like that I put out in full the whole 40 minutes. I didn't clip it up. I didn't sugarcoat nothing. I didn't clip something up to make you believe it's one way and it's not the other way. I didn't make a false title to make you listen to or watch the episode. I just said exactly what it was. I put their names, and it was straight black and white, and people gravitated towards that. And when you talk about character, my character, and things like that, I want people to recognize me for that kind of work. Like, he didn't have no gimmicks. He didn't change things up. He didn't make us believe it's this. He didn't say, oh, wow, father shoots son, and it's not about that. It's like, I don't do clickbait. No, you click because you believe in the work and the amount of hard work I put into these episodes. And so, yeah, I appreciate that. And that was a good week. And all that was 1 week. 1 week we did the teacher and got that story out. I thought that was amazing. And then I was able to put the episode out about development around the Regency Mall, and that's it, that historic landmark. So I thought that was dope, man. I'm just trying to do great things. I'm trying to elevate. Once again, even something like that, I look at stuff like that. I'm like, look what I'm doing. You can't really respond and reply to every single thing that you deem to not go your way. Tough it up, put your big boy boots on and keep fucking walking and keep doing what you're doing. 'Cause you're doing something right. And that's that, man. More Masters Podcast be out, man. Clap it up for me, man. Thank y'all for following and listening. If you listen all the way through, comment, share this. Tell me what you think. Send me a message. Review the episode. Rate me 1 out of 10. Not me. I know I'm a 10. Rate the episode 1 out of 10, please. Yeah, that's it, man. Love y'all.